Hello and welcome back to No Jumper News. I'm Adam22 here with your co-host AD. Let's get right into these stories. Nearly 2 million people tuned in to watch Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy's live Verzuz battle on Thursday night. Broadcasting live from Atlanta's Magic City Strip Club, the Instagram event was more tense than usual, but ended on an incredible note of mutual respect between the two legendary rappers. Kicking off the new season, Gucci started the battle hot by performing the Jeezy diss track Round 1. The two rappers were throwing shade at each other all night. Gucci made sure to brag about his outfit and suggested doing a jewelry versus the next time. Then Gucci played his diss track The Truth, and things got a little tense and awkward for everyone, including the viewers. If you know the song, it references Gucci fatally shooting Jeezy's close friend Pookie Loke after an altercation in 2005. Jeezy took the opportunity to speak his truth, explaining why he ultimately extended the invite to Gucci despite their longtime beef. After seemingly putting Gucci in his place and making his point, Jeezy transitioned into Get Your Mind Right. In the final round, the two squashed their 15-year-long beef and ended the night with a joint performance of So Icy. Gucci then thanked Jeezy for extending the olive branch, said he accepted, and announced that they were going to a club together that night.
Are you willing to admit you were wrong about your claim? You said Gucci's gonna wipe the floor with Jeezy.
Okay. I do think that Jeezy did a great job of reminding everyone that he has a ton of classics, amazing music from back in the day. I had forgot a lot about those hits. And Gucci, to his credit, I don't think he necessarily played as many bangers as he could. I would have liked to see him do, honestly, more mixtape cuts, and I feel like a lot of those mixtape songs like Kitchen and shit would have endeared the crowd to him a little bit more than him playing some of the newer stuff that, granted, like a lot of those songs are big, like the song with Quavo and stuff, but I do feel like if Gucci had came out and done some of the more street classic stuff, that he might have prevailed a little bit more. I think Jeezy did do a good job showing that musically he just had a ton of amazing music over the years, but at the same time, Gucci, with sheer force of personality, I still feel like a lot of people are going to view him as the victor in all this just because of the fact that he was trash talking better and just being way more aggressive, way more relentless. What are your thoughts?
I think that as far now, if it was just a battle, if everything considered, you drop the truth, that's I was like really driving, just like you was driving. I damn near crashed looking at that shit. I'm like,
I'm jumping up and down in my car.
Man, that shit was crazy. That was very fucking entertaining. But Jeezy was coming with it. At one point in time, he was just going back to back to back with the records. You feel me? When I heard my favorite Dope Boy 95 Air Max song,
right.
that's when it went crazy for me.
Yeah, it was honestly a pretty great battle. It was probably by far the high
You
point
were in the
of
comments
Verzuz to
too.
me. I was in the comments, yeah. You like that?
I liked it.
Well, because the one craziest moment for me, okay, so I'm jumping up and down in the car, listening to Gucci call out Jeezy for having a weak outfit on. He said, I got a $10,000 outfit on. Look at my opponent. I felt like there was almost like an agreement that they weren't going to verbally attack each other up until that moment, and that Gucci sort of like allowed that moment to be his transition into just relentlessly dissing him, because then he brings up the clothes, and then Jeezy, though, like, to his credit, I believe Jeezy when he says, I didn't know it was a fashion show. But at the same time, I mean, that's kind of like him cowering and tucking his head back into his shell and just being like, I don't want the smoke, you know?
Jeezy just seems to me like somebody that's from the streets and that's reformed. I'm trying to be more like that.
Right.
To where I don't get mad about things that used to bother me anymore and stuff.
Right, because let me ask you that question. Say someone today shoots and kills your friend. 15 years later, are you going to be able to get on the stage with him and have him just straight disrespect your dead homie and you just take it on the chin? I can't imagine you.
What I was told is that, and I could be wrong, I was told that that wasn't his friend like that. So if that being said, then I can understand why, you know, it could be okay.
But wasn't he an artist signed to Jeezy's label? And there was a Jeezy.
I don't know.
There's a Jeezy lyric where he says something about Pookie Loke dying, and he says, Lord knows I ain't send him on no dummy mission. Meaning
that's hard.
That he thought that the mission to kill Gucci was going to work. I don't know, but if you remember at the time, Jeezy had put out almost like a public bounty on Gucci's head.
I really was like too young to like understand what was going on with that. Now, if it's one of your day ones, it's like somebody come takes out Josh You can't get on stage.
Oh yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't smoke on Josh.
You can't. No.
15 years.
Can't
don't
smoke
matter, right?
no Josh Pack, man.
No.
Can't do that.
But I mean, the whole thing about it too is that Jeezy comes and Jeezy says the thing about King Von, the Mo 3, the Nipsey thing, basically saying like this doesn't need to be taken to the point of that level of aggression, which I could totally respect. But in the context of a battle, we don't really want to hear that peacemaking shit, you know? And I think Gucci prevailed in part because he was willing to be completely ridiculous and mean-spirited with it. But that's what we love Gucci for. Like, Gucci catching that body is it's not really an underrated part. I feel like everybody knows that that's a huge part of his mystique and how he got the reputation of being the boogeyman of hip-hop.
Yeah, but I feel the way Jeezy handled it and just them doing So Icy, them able to do that is the bigger picture of it. You know, this may save people in hip hop's lives, and some kids may say, you know what, let's put this shit aside because, you know, dealing with gang culture and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Me being from a certain area, I've seen hoods, you know, who have plenty of bodies and family members die from different sides say, you know what, we're gonna put the guns down and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Right. And that takes power and that takes a lot of maturity, and I feel like Jeezy is very mature. Yep. He's getting to his bag. One of the things I like, he says I own half Atlanta, I'm getting the real estate. He's mentally somewhere else, right? So all the other stuff to him really doesn't affect him no more. And I've seen too, he's been around Farrakhan, you feel me? He said Farrakhan gave him a lot of game, and he's looking out for the people, and I feel like that was dope for Atlanta, and it's dope for hip hop, period.
I feel like Jeezy came away from that looking like the bigger person, maybe the better person. I still feel like Gucci, just through being so disrespectful, somehow still kind of came out on top. Although at the end, when they did the song together and they were able to squash it, I did think that that was great. And one thing that did rub me the wrong way was seeing all the people on Twitter basically saying that Jeezy's a pussy for letting Gucci say that shit to him, because what are the other options? Like, if Jeezy jumped across that stage and started fighting Gucci, or never mind if somebody shot him or whatever, I mean, that would be a terrible result. And we've seen how that mentality plays out in hip hop over and over and over. King Von, that's exactly what happened in his situation, and we all kind of are in on the joke that there's going to be more people who die behind that shit. And if anything, Jeezy and Gucci, if they can look at this situation and recognize that that was a period in their life where some stupid shit happened, but they're past it, I mean, that really at the end of the day is a beautiful thing. And Jeezy actually kind of deserves even more credit for letting Gucci get the last bars off there and still being willing to put it past him.
That was grown man shit, you feel me? And you know, for them, like, I never thought I'd see something like that.
Oh, no, never.
You know what I mean? But anything's possible, man.
Yeah, props to them for burying the hatchet and for creating timeless hip-hop content. We're still going to be talking about this in 20 years.
They set the bar for verses. I don't know who they can get next that's going to be this controversial, and man, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, much respect to them.
Yeah. Next story. Logan Paul says he can destroy Floyd Mayweather in a fight. In a recent interview with TMZ, Logan goes off about Floyd Mayweather and how he can beat him in a fight.
If I caught Floyd in a real fight, street fight, whoop his ass. All right. No question. You gotta like MMA, octagon, whoop his ass. Okay. No question.
Floyd caught word of these comments and immediately took to Twitter to respond to Logan directly. He quoted, "These YouTube girls better find some Barbie dolls to play with, because I'm not one of the one for the kid games. 3 years ago, a fighter from UFC said my name, and I had to put that muzzle on that bitch." At Logan Paul can get the same treatment before I go conquer Japan again. Logan later responded to Floyd's tweet, simply writing 50-1, suggesting that he could first break Mayweather's 50-0 professional boxing record.
Okay, so honest question, why are we even giving Logan Paul the time of day with this claim? Because him saying that he could beat up Floyd Mayweather is pretty close to me saying that I could beat up Floyd, or you saying it, or, you know, Riley who's doing the shipping out there. You know, like we all have approximately the same chance of beating Floyd Mayweather in a fight. And Logan Paul, I like you, you're a good guy, but we all saw Logan Paul lose against KSI, and KSI would promptly get the dog shit beat out of him by Floyd Mayweather too, just like 99.9% of other human beings on this planet. Why are we talking about this?
Why are we talking about this?
It's my show. No, I mean, I understand why people are talking about it. It's big names. They're talking about stuff. But, I mean, like, what is Logan Paul talking about? The people that he should be considering fighting
is me.
I mean, honestly, yes, that would be a pretty good fight, to be real. You guys are similar height. I don't know. Actually, I think it would beat the dog shit out of you, but mostly,
me?
Well, he's been training a lot harder. This is a more realistic conversation. Let's talk about this. AD versus Logan Paul. I like it.
I'm gonna beat the dog shit out of that boy.
I'm like the same height as Logan Paul. He's clearly like been in the gym drastically more than me. I mean, the one advantage that Logan Paul would have is that he dominates Floyd size-wise. He's huge compared to him. But I mean, Floyd,
give me 5 months of training. I don't do no drinking. I'm gonna be Rocky out there.
You not drinking for 5 months would be like
I've done it before.
Breathing for 5 months. Yeah, when you were 14.
No, nigga.
When?
Like 2-3 years ago.
Why?
I was miserable too. It was weak.
Why'd you do it?
I just wanted to cleanse myself. See if I can do it.
Did it work? It doesn't seem like it worked. You still seem all fucked up.
I went right back. So, doesn't matter.
YouTube, appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell AD what you think of this cool new shirt he's wearing.
What about my cool new show?
Oh, and his cool new show at the end of the day, every Wednesday.
Live.
Appreciate y'all.